A planet with no sun is still growing, not orbiting in darkness around some distant star, not drifting dead and frozen through space. Growing. Astronomers found a rogue planet called CHA 1107-7626, a world with about 5 to 10 times Jupiter's mass, floating through space on its own. It is about 620 light-years away in the constellation Chamaeleon. And somehow, despite having no star to orbit, it is still feeding. Around the planet is a disk of gas and dust, and that material is falling inward onto the planet itself. This process is called accretion. It is how stars grow. It is how young worlds can grow. But what astronomers saw here was not slow, quiet growth. It was a burst. By August 2025, this rogue planet was swallowing material at a rate of about 6 billion tons every second. That is not just fast for a free-floating planet. It is the strongest accretion episode ever recorded for any planetary mass object, including planets that do orbit stars. That is what makes this so weird. People imagine planets as finished things, calm, stable, locked into their systems. But CHA 1107-7626 is not in a system at all, and it is behaving less like a peaceful planet and more like a young star going through a violent growth spurt. That matters because rogue planets are one of the strangest populations in the galaxy. They do not orbit suns, they drift alone, and astronomers still argue about what some of them really are. Were they born the way stars are born, collapsing directly out of clouds of gas? Or were they giant planets that formed around stars and were later thrown out into interstellar space? CHA 1107-7626 may be helping answer that, because the way it is feeding looks disturbingly familiar. Similar bursts of accretion have been seen in young stars before. The planet's brightness changed dramatically during the event. Magnetic activity appears to have helped drive the infall of material. And astronomers even found that the chemistry of the surrounding disk changed during the burst. Water vapor appeared during the episode, but not before. That had been seen in stars, not in planets, which means this object is doing something that blurs the line between the two. It is too small to be a star, too massive and too active to feel like the normal picture of a planet. It is a lonely world still under construction, feeding from a disk of gas and dust with no parent sun in sight. And that may be the most unsettling part, because planets are supposed to be built inside systems, around stars, inside flat disks that belong to something bright and central. But this one is out there alone, still assembling itself in the dark. That forces a bigger question. If at least some rogue planets can grow in ways that resemble stars, then maybe they are not just planets without homes. Maybe some of them were never meant to have suns at all. The observations came from ESO's Very Large Telescope in Chile, with help from the James Webb Space Telescope and earlier archived data. Together, they caught something almost absurd: a planet with no star, no stable system, no sunlight to orbit around, still pulling in matter in a burst, powerful enough to rewrite how we think these objects form. So, this is not just a strange discovery. It is a glimpse into a class of worlds we barely understand. Worlds that may spend their entire lives alone, growing, cooling, and drifting through interstellar space with no sunrise and no sunset. And somewhere in that darkness, CHA 1107-7626 is still telling us that the universe may be able to build planets without ever giving them a sun.